Ladies, gentlemen, me, Dame, Monsieur, meine Damen und Herren, Señores y Señoras, here we are once again back, and looks like the cross-position gods are a little bit more in favor of Dimaga right now, because the last game we played, the last game we started here on Shakura's Plateau, we saw that Kaz apparently did not switch his race. He was a Zerg player then, and they're spawning on Shakura's Plateau in close positions next to each other. But now, nobody is spawning next to Kaz because it is cross positions here in the second game of the semi-finals on the CraftCup number 33 tonight. It is Kaz against Dimaga of course, Kaz from Team Empire. He is spawning in the top right as the yellow Terran player. In the bottom left, we have Dimaga here spawning as the red Zerg. Of course, Dimaga, a member of MTW. I'm not really sure who else. Okay, I know Ryan, he is from MTW as well. Night End used to be on the MTW, but now Night End is back with his old Warcraft 3 buddies, like for example Thorzane, etc, etc. So cross positions it is. Production tab it is as well. And do we see a drone moving out pretty soon? Dimaga is at 200 minerals. He's getting more in minerals, and he should move out any second now, and there he is moving out. And with this drone moving out, he should be in a good enough position to go for the hatchery right away. Indeed, he's doing this. Another drone moving out by him here, and the barracks already scouting him right away, being a little bit annoying here. And of course, I think he might be going for this extractor steel pretty soon. Of course, now this first marine is moving out, so what do you do as a Zerg player? You just move around a little bit, and most likely and very soon go for the extract the steel or run home. I was just thinking about it. I was a little bit quiet because I was thinking about is it actually a viable strategy against a Terran player to move the drone, build a hatchery here, and shortly before this hatchery is finished, cancel it and just go for an evolution chamber. This should be a viable strategy to possibly delay command center being produced here on the low ground right away without costing too much. It has cost you 25% of the 300 minerals worth of the hatchery if you cancel it, and it costs you another 50 minerals for the drone, and maybe another 25% of the 75 minerals of the evolution chamber to follow it up. But it might be a viable strategy to delay a Terran's expansion, because if the Terran have to build it here next to the location, it might get delayed a little bit, and it allows the Zerg player to scout. To be honest, I don't think it is a viable strategy. I only think the one with the cancelling and go for the evolution chamber, something like this against a Protoss player, is a little bit more worth it. So, Dimaga moving out with his first Zerglings, but barracks number 1, barracks number 2 and barracks number 3 are already finished here for Kaz. Kaz got 2 marines out though, he should be fine. And what is Dimaga doing? Dimaga is not focusing a little too much here, spotting the 3 barracks by the way. He's not focusing too much on the Zergling production. He only got the Zerglings here at the front to see what's going on, so he should be in a good enough position. And then he's continuing to drone up, got the queen at the natural, got the queen and the main, and he's going for the 3rd queen, so we can expect some really serious creep spreading coming up by Dimaga in the next 2 seconds. Meanwhile, of course, going for more drones. He's currently already at 30 drones, pretty soon 33, and there we see the queen at the natural popping out. There's the queen, go for a creep tumor, and the queen should be going for a creep tumor right now. Special entry, nailing it one more time. More or less. So, and this is really interesting. Looks like Dimaga wants to go for it Keurig style once again, because the first building, no, actually, of course, partly yes, but he just moved out the ramp What do you do when you see three barracks being built next to each other? We saw this game happen already in another fashion, but the Protoss player, the Zerg player, was deciding, oh, I see three barracks without any add-ons. Guess he won't be making any more Marines. And then this Terran player decided to go for, the Zerg player decided to go for Mutalisks. Even though Mutalist is not what you should do, you should get a Baneling's Nest, you should get a lair pretty soon to at first have the Banelings. There he's morphing in the Banelings right away at his natural expansion entrance. And with the lair being finished pretty soon, go for the Baneling speed, which should deny all those Zerglings here quite a bit, especially considering that he does not have any more. That he just started the tech lab and he does not have the Stimpack upgrade, but it looks like Cast is doing even some more sophisticated follow-up play, which is right now the double stop, but of course he's mining at his natural as well, now going for the third gas, pretty soon for the fourth gas. He's got one Banshee out, the second Banshee will be out right away. So what anti-air does Dimaga have? He got a pretty good anti-air because yes, he's got the double evolution chamber, of course allowing him to build the spore crawlers. He got 3 queens and he's got the lair finished already. And there are the Marines moving out, and the Banshees have been spotted by by Dimaga right now, because not only the Marines but also the Banshees attacked those Zerglings here at the front. So now what is he producing? He's producing more Queens, he's producing Banelings, going for the Spire right away, more Zerglings in the mix as well, getting, he's at 4 Banelings, he will soon be at 11 Banelings, 10 Zerglings, he's got another 12 Zerglings in production, and there are the Marines moving up the ramp. The Banelings following those Marines, and slow Banelings against slow Marines is still good enough, because yes, the Banelings are a little bit faster than the Marines without the stim. Now here are the Banshees, one Banshee going down, and those 2 Queens got enough energy to transfuse each other, and there we see the transfusion going on, and this second Banshee was repelled. So very, very nice defense by Dimaga, being able to hold this expansion, continuing with the great creep spread, that's what I was talking about earlier, and now getting the +1 attack, getting the +1 armor, and the Spire for Dimaga will be finished even soon as well. So what is Kaz's follow-up play? He wants to go for the double drop, having 12 Marines and a single siege tank here, and those 2 medivacs will allow him to do quite some damage. On the other hand, if Dimaga is able to do more damage here with his Banelings, now even with the Baneling speeds, the Centrifugal Hooks upgrades finished, and with the Mutas, he should use the Banelings and the Zerglings to repel those Marines, and then just go for the attack with the Mutas to take out the Medivacs and the Siege Tanks as well. So Siege Mode only now started for Cast. He cannot siege up, this Overlord will go down, so Dimaga is aware of it. He should set his Zerglings in motion pretty soon. Now the Banelings are finished as well. Marines coming down the ramp, 1 Queen most likely will go down. What about the second Queen? It is still alive. Now the Siege Tank focusing the Queen surviving with a 7 HP. Where are the Mutalisks? Here they come, and now with the Mutalisks being there, the damage will start to continue, and now the Zerglings and Banelings of course picking up all those forces. It's now on the Mutalist to take out the Siege Tanks, not the Siege Tank, to take out the Medivacs. He decides to go for the Medivac with a Siege Tank in it. Oh no, he stops, he should follow this Medivac. Will this Medivac be able to make it home alive? No Marines, no missile turrets here, and apparently this Medivac by Kaz was able to survive. Meanwhile, Kaz wants to go for a counter attack here. This Banshee was doing quite some damage earlier on. It was the repelled Banshee when he was attacking here the second expansion of Dimaga. Now it is in the main base of Dimaga. Cast currently not controlling it, but Dimaga's Queen is here at the top. Dimaga not paying enough attention. Now he's using the Medivac, he's using the Mutalisk and the Queen to take this out. We're flying around with the Mutalisk a little bit more, going for another expansion in the top left, getting 30 more Zerglings. and the +1 for the Mutalist. So what is Cars doing? Of course, I said a couple of times that he's a really good macro Terran, but now for the moment he decides to stay on 2 bases, only now started his second command center. So looks like Dimaga will be in a good position to deal some damage. On the other hand, Cars is getting quite a good army composition, getting the medivacs, getting the siege tanks, getting the +1 armor upgrade, getting the combat shield, etc., etc. It should be he should be in a good enough position to be very cost effective. Of course, he needs to watch out for the banelings, and still no baneling traps by Dimaga, and there the scanning begins by Cars. Banelings rolling in right now, as long as those Marines are on the creep. Marines stimming, but this is just not enough Marines here, because the Mutas coming in from the right side, clearing everything up, and now it is time for Dimaga this time to take and pick up all those remaining medivacs, especially with the +1 for the Mutas. Doing a good job there. More Marines moving in, trying to save the medivacs, but here are the banelings rolling in, taking and doing more damage. And with this Mutalist, he was able to take out this 2 more siege tanks. Only a couple of more Marines are there alive. One supply depot after another going down, even the barracks at the front. We should see a GG here any second now, and Dimaga being able to tie up the series 1-1 here, spawning cross positions on Shakura's plateau. Congratulations to him. And now I am really curious on which map we will be seeing those two guys fight against each other next.